I want to talk about what makes a man want to be in a relationship. The number one thing is going slow. Move slow when it comes to getting in a relationship. If he asks you to be his woman, tell him you aren't ready. Men love a woman who doesn't easily commit. The biggest one, don't have sex too soon. What's easily gotten isn't worth much. The slower you are to give yourself to him, the quicker he'll put a ring on it.
Imagine meeting someone who feels like the perfect match, charming, successful, and attentive. In just weeks, you're swept off your feet and building a life together. But what happens when the person you trusted turns out to be someone far more dangerous than you could ever imagine? Today, we're diving into the heart-wrenching story of a woman whose dream of love became a nightmare. It's a story of betrayal, survival, and the strength to protect her children. This isn't just about one woman's experience, it's a wake-up call for every one of us to recognize the signs, protect ourselves, and demand better from the systems meant to keep us safe. Hey, Radiant Rebels! In this video, we're not just telling a story, we're unpacking powerful lessons about spotting red flags, protecting your loved ones, and healing from unimaginable pain. We'll also look at how society, and sometimes even the justice system, fails those who need it the most. If you've ever questioned your instincts in a relationship or wondered how to shield yourself and your children from harm, keep watching. This story will open your eyes, but more importantly, it will empower you to take control of your safety and your future. Let's get into it. I Married a Monster, a lady's story. When she first met him, it felt like fate. He was everything she had ever dreamed of, charming, well-spoken, and deeply spiritual. As a single mother yearning for a fresh start, he seemed like the answer to her prayers. Their connection felt so instant, so right, that within just 2 weeks of meeting, they were married. It all felt like a whirlwind romance out of a fairy tale. But as the days turned into weeks, small cracks began to show. There were little moments, subtle behaviors, that didn't sit right. She told herself it was normal, that every marriage requires adjustment, especially one that began so quickly. She wanted to believe in the picture-perfect life he had promised her. Then came the moment that shattered the illusion completely. While caring for her young daughter one day, she noticed something alarming, something no mother should ever have to see. When she gently asked her child what had happened, the answer broke her heart into pieces. Her husband, the man she had trusted after knowing him for just 2 weeks, had been harming her children in unimaginable ways. The realization hit like a tidal wave. The signs she had brushed off earlier suddenly felt like glaring warnings she wished she had taken more seriously. In that devastating moment, she faced a choice that no woman should have to make: stay silent and hope things would somehow improve, or leave everything behind to protect her children. With immense courage, she chose to walk away. She packed up her life, put her children's safety first, and stepped into the unknown with nothing but her faith and her determination to rebuild. For more details and the full story, check the link in the description below. Radiant Rebels, this isn't just her story, it's a lesson for all of us. Sometimes what seems too good to be true is just that. Her bravery in leaving, in speaking up, and in fighting for her children's safety is a reminder that your instincts are there for a reason. This story isn't just about her survival, it's about breaking free from illusion, protecting what truly matters, and finding the strength to start over, no matter how hard it may seem. Together, let's unpack the lessons hidden in her journey so we can protect ourselves, our families, and our futures. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Let's continue raising awareness and empowering each other. Lessons in relationship awareness. When you rush into a relationship, it's easy to overlook the red flags, especially if you're caught up in the excitement of new love. But it's so important to take the time to truly get to know your partner before committing, especially when children are involved. You may think you've found the one after only a couple of weeks, but rushing into marriage without knowing each other deeply can set the stage for heartbreak and danger. This isn't just about finding someone who seems perfect in the moment, it's about ensuring you've seen them at their best and worst, so you're not blindsided later. In this case, she thought she'd met her Prince Charming. She married a man who seemed to embody all the qualities of a perfect partner: loving, caring, and righteous. But once they tied the knot, things started to shift. What seemed like a fairy tale began to crumble as hidden traits emerged, revealing behaviors that should have been addressed much earlier. It's so important to slow down and really observe. When you rush into things, you risk missing warning signs that could save you from unimaginable pain later. Take note of any controlling tendencies or manipulative behavior. If something feels off or doesn't sit right with you, trust your instincts. These early signs are crucial. They are not things you should dismiss or rationalize. When you choose to ignore them, they can snowball into much bigger issues down the road. Her story is a powerful reminder that we cannot ignore what's right in front of us. You deserve to feel safe and respected, and if something feels wrong, it's okay to step back and reassess the situation. Another important lesson here is understanding power dynamics in relationships. When there's a significant age or power imbalance, it can create vulnerabilities, especially if one partner is in a position of control or influence. In this case, the trust was exploited, and this is where the danger really lies. When you're in a relationship where one person holds all the power, it's easy for them to manipulate, control, or even harm without the other partner realizing it until it's too late. This isn't just about physical power, it's emotional, financial, and mental control. Remember, Radiant Rebels, real love is about equality, mutual respect, and trust. Protecting children and addressing systemic issues. When it comes to protecting our children, nothing should ever come before their safety. Children are often unable to voice their distress, which is why it's crucial to pay close attention to any changes in their behavior. If your child suddenly becomes withdrawn, fearful, or exhibits unusual behaviors, especially after introducing a new partner, don't ignore it. These could be subtle signs of abuse or emotional distress that shouldn't be brushed off. Children's reactions to certain situations or people can speak volumes. They might act out, withdraw, or even develop new fears that weren't there before. If something feels wrong, trust that gut feeling. As difficult as it may be, protecting your child often means making the painful decision to walk away from a relationship, no matter how invested you are. The well-being of your child should always be your top priority, and no relationship, no matter how promising it may seem, should come before their safety. There's no greater responsibility than being the guardian of your child's emotional and physical health. And as heartbreaking as this story is, it also highlights a deeper issue: the systemic barriers that make it so hard for victims to get the help they need. Whether it's a healthcare system that dismisses their pain or a justice system that fails to hold abusers accountable, many survivors face hurdles that compound their trauma. It's time we start holding these systems accountable and demand better for those who are suffering in silence. Everyone, especially women and children, deserves access to safe spaces, legal protection, and healthcare when they need it most. The more we talk about these systemic failures, the closer we get to real change. Critical insights for women. One of the hardest truths to face is that there are people out there who prey on vulnerable individuals. Predators are skilled at grooming, manipulating, and exploiting trust to get what they want. It's often a slow and calculated process, and by the time you realize what's happening, it can feel like you've already given too much. But there's power in staying aware and protecting yourself from those who would seek to take advantage of your kindness. This means staying vigilant, listening to those inner warnings, and not ignoring any red flags, no matter how small. It's easy to get swept up in someone's charm or promises, but your safety and peace of mind are always worth more than a fleeting attraction or desire to believe in someone's good intentions. Along with this, we have to challenge a dangerous myth that financial stability or wealth makes someone a good catch. Just because someone has money or status doesn't mean they have the integrity, kindness, or emotional depth to be a good partner. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that security in one area of life compensates for toxic behavior in others. Emotional compatibility and trust are far more important than anything money can buy. You deserve someone who treats you with respect and builds you up, not someone who sees you as an accessory to their wealth or status. And lastly, let's address something that too many women overlook: healing takes time. You are not weak for needing help after leaving an abusive relationship. You're strong for taking the necessary steps to protect yourself and your family. Reach out to support networks, consider therapy, and give yourself permission to heal at your own pace. Healing is not a linear process, and it's important to surround yourself with people who understand and respect your journey. Remember, leaving an abusive situation is an act of strength. It's one of the hardest, yet most empowering decisions you can make. You deserve to heal, grow, and rebuild your life on your own terms. This isn't just about protecting yourself from harm, it's about giving yourself permission to thrive emotionally, mentally, and physically. And that is your power. You are worthy of peace, safety, and a healthy, loving environment. Never forget that. Share, like, and comment spreads this important message just a little bit further. Thank you for being part of this movement. Together, we can make a difference. Turning pain into advocacy. What stands out about the creator's journey is her immense courage in sharing such a painful story. It's one thing to go through trauma, but it takes real strength to turn that pain into something powerful, to use it to educate, empower, and protect others. By speaking out, she's not only reclaiming her own narrative but also becoming a beacon of hope for others who might be silently suffering. This bravery isn't just about healing, it's about making sure that no one else has to experience the same horrors.